Hello guys, LEGO Master Reviews here, and today I'll be reviewing the LEGO CMF Series 26. As you can see, this space theme, there's a lot of unique designs here. I'm really happy how this whole series looks. And one thing to note is that the CMF series has 12 minifigures and it will once again be included in these cardboard boxes. It is very unfortunate. I think the plastic bags are much better, but it does have a really nice design. I like the stars here. As well as like kind of like metallic color, and then like you can see the space logo there. And yeah, you kind of get the stars all around the boxes. So I'm really happy with that. Like the design wise, it does look pretty great, but the plastic bags would be much better. But regardless, I'm really happy with this series. I think a lot of the minifigures are cool here. So with that out of the way, let's jump right on into this video. And before we take a look at the actual minifigures, I wanted to show you the stands all these minifigures include. You can see here, get some stars printed on there, which I think is really unique. I love when LEGO prints these like stands here. So that is really nice to get, and every single minifigure in the series has that. So that is really cool, and it definitely makes like paying $5 for each minifigure feel a little bit more worth it, since you get a really cool printed display stand. And once again, like I said, every single minifigure does include those, and those are gonna be great for like mocks and just all around just a really cool print, and something I wanted to note before I take a look at the minifigure. First up is this nurse android, and I really like the use of that hairpiece in blue there. I think that looks really great. I also like the face printing a lot, and you can see on the back side of it there's actually like a power outlet there. I think that's a really funny detail, and you can even see you get the battery percentage there. So yeah, those like really funny details there I like a lot. You can also see she has translucent arms there, and there's printing on there which looks really nice. I like that a lot as well. And she has really nice leg printing, which I think is going to be really useful for customs in the future. You can see her accessory is a pink space baby here, which is really nice, and it's the exact same mold that the blue one came in, but you can see it's like a two set of little pieces there and they connect. So that is nice, and you can also see she comes with a baby bottle there. And overall, definitely not the most exciting minifigure of the CMF series, but it is still pretty cool, and I like her accessories a lot. Next up is the robot Butler, and I really like the use of the Mysterio helmet in green there. I think that looks great. Also really like the head underneath there. You can see it's more of a yellow color, and you get some eyebrows printed on there, which is very nice. You can also see on the back of the torso, it kind of looks like a VHS tape, like a cassette tape. I'm not sure if that was purposeful, but it does look like that to me. You can also see the arm printing looks pretty great on this guy, and then you can also see some pretty nice torso printing. His accessories are like this like pot here, and you can see there's like a little white piece inside, as well as like a little whisk there. And then you can see he has a really awesome leg mold here. It's like one big piece, and it just connects to him like a normal leg mold. And you can see you get like one little like stud underneath, and you just connect it to a normal stud. And yeah, I mean, overall, definitely not the most exciting minifigure of the CMF series, but the printing on him is very nice. I like the leg mold a lot, and that Mysterio helmet in green is really nice. Next up is the retro space hero, and I really like the like hair mold like connected to the helmet there. I think that looks really nice. It's a really cool dual molded piece. You can also see the head looks pretty cool there, and you get a second face print on the back. I think the arms look really cool as well. You can see you get like a really cool logo on each side, which looks pretty nice. And she has a really cool like kind of like light purple skirt piece, which is a really nice usage there. And I also really like these dual molded legs there with the printing on the side, which looks pretty great as well. And you can see she includes a really nice kind of like gold blaster. But I think the standout for this minifigure is definitely the accessory with this like kind of like chrome metallic like dog here. We don't really see dogs in that color at all, so it's nice to get that. And it even has some really nice printing on like the front of the face there. So yeah, I mean, overall, definitely not my favorite minifigure of the CMF series. I believe it is supposed to be kind of like a reference to like a past CMF series, like a male version of this figure. So I think if you have that figure, it'll definitely go better with that. But if you don't, you're kind of just left with a random figure. But I do like the dog a lot, and this is still a really detailed minifigure. And here we have the Blacktron Mutant, and this is a really unique minifigure. I like the hairpiece he has there, as well as the really cool face print. You can see it's kind of like half infected, and you get like a fang on one side and more like a smile on the other. I also really like the torso there with the Blacktron logo, and you even get some back torso printing. On the one arm is like the arm that was originally introduced in the Solo Star Wars story sets there, and it was also used on Stitch from the Disney 100 CMF series, but it's in green this time. That's really cool. I like the two blasters as well. The other side doesn't have any arm printing, unfortunately. I wish it did have that. And you can see one leg is like the gremlin leg in like a light green color there, and you can see the other leg is just like a normal leg. So yeah, I mean, overall, pretty great minifigure, but definitely not my favorite, since I don't have a lot of nostalgia for Blacktron. And I do wish that some of like the green parts were printed on the torso, because it's kind of weird how like there's like green on the leg and then it jumps to the arms and then the face, but like the entire torso is just normal. I would have liked to have seen like maybe like half green printing to kind of match like the other like mutated parts, but still pretty unique minifigure and a really nice concept. The next minifigure we're going to take a look at here is the alien Beetle Zord, and I absolutely love the head mold here. I think that's so cool. It's like this really cool translucent piece there, and you get some really nice printing in the front, as well as some mandibles there, which looks pretty cool. The torso printing is very unique, and you can see the gremlin legs being used there in like a dark blue. You get some printing in there as well. I also really love this back mold here. It kind of reminds me of like Blue Beetle. I think that'd be really good for like a Blue Beetle custom without using any like Blue Beetle parts. And yeah, I mean, overall, super unique minifigure. You can see the accessories kind of like a purple leaf, and you get like that popcorn piece in purple there, so I'm assuming that could either be grapes or eggs or something. I don't really know, but still really cool concept for a minifigure, and I think the translucent pieces look amazing, and that back piece is going to be really useful for custom. Next up, we have the Impostor, and no, I'm not talking about Among Us. You can see here, this is supposed to be like a suit that the little aliens control here, which I think is so funny. Yeah, I really like the hair mold here. You can see the antennas attached to it just using that like little mold there. So yeah, you could use this on a normal minifigure if you wanted to, like if this thing is not molded into it. So that is nice, and I really like how they did that. You can also see you get a really cool face print there with like the alien controlling the suit, and on the back you get a normal face print there, and you can see there's like a little hatch where the aliens would obviously like look through, so I think that's pretty funny. And you even get a little door where the aliens would go inside the suit, which I also think is a really clever detail. On the front you can see it's basically just a normal torso. I think that will be really useful for like customs in the future. And you get some very nice leg printing as well as like some screws like bolted in there. I think that's a really funny detail. You even get some little like alien microfigs to match the one on the head there, which I also think is really cool. And you even get an extra one included with the minifigure, so that's really nice. I'm glad they like included like 3 of these little guys you can have like walking around, so that's very nice. And they kind of remind me like Mike Wazowski from the Monsters Inc. movies with like that green and like the one eye. Kind of reminds me of that. Could be useful for like customs or like maybe like a little mini build if you wanted to. But yeah, overall super clever design for a minifigure. I've said that from the start. I think this is such a clever and unique minifigure, and he's definitely one of the best of the series. Next up is the alien saucer costume fan. This is a really unique design for a minifigure. You can see you get the stars printed on his legs, as well as like a shooting star in the torso, which looks really cool. And I really love how Earth is printed on the back there, and I believe that's also supposed to be the moon there. So like really cool details and a very unique design. But I do wish that the stars were printed on the side of the legs, as well as like some stars printed in the arms would be very nice, because it's kind of just on the front and it just skips like the legs and just goes straight to the back. So that would have been nice. But I do like this mold on the neck there. You can see just removing that head how it works. You can kind of see that there's like a gap in between, so it can kind of like fit on the torso. You can also see there's little ridges there that this like kind of like translucent piece just sits on. And this little green head is supposed to be the alien, so you just place this on top, and then the alien is supposed to like be inside the alien saucer, and then this is supposed to be like the little roof of it. So really unique design for a minifigure. I think that's very clever, but I do kind of wish that there was printing on the side of the legs, like I said. But still, this is gonna be really useful for customs. Like I think of like Eternity or like the Cosmic Spider-Man when I look at that torso. So very cool, and I think this is a really unique design. Like I said, I can't really say that enough, honestly. But yeah, really like this minifigure, and it's definitely my favorites of the series. Next up is the Ice Planet Explorer, and I really like this minifigure. I know it's supposed to be kind of like a reference to a classic Lego theme. I just never collected that theme, so I don't know much about it, but you can see I believe that's supposed to be the logo there. You also get the logo on the penguin there, which is pretty funny, but you can see that the helmet mold is very cool. I like that a lot, and like the orange printing on it looks very nice. Underneath you get a very nice face print there, and flipping that around you can see you get the second face print, and she also has a hairpiece if you wanted to put that on there, so that is very cool. And a very cool option like for like a secondary display if you want that. But yeah, I mean, putting the helmet back on, you can see that there's also studs on the back of this mold here. So if you wanted to take this brick built chainsaw, which also looks really cool, I like that like translucent piece there, you can just connect that to the studs there, and that's also another look you could have for the minifigure. I really like this kind of like armor piece there. I believe it originated from Star Wars, and blue here. I think that looks very nice. Get some printing on the front of that, and the leg printing is also really cool there. I like the ice hooks there. Like obviously, you know, it's supposed to be like climbing in snow, so that's a really nice detail. And I really like the penguin mold here. I think this is also really cool. I like how the little orange visor that matches the one on the helmet there, and like the torso printing on it looks very nice. You get a stud on the back too if you wanted that. But yeah, I mean, overall, a very cool minifigure. I think this one is really awesome. And again, I know it's supposed to become some kind of like reference. I just don't know much about it, but there's no denying this is a really cool design for a minifigure. I think the penguin's very cool. Next up is Orion, and this is one of my absolute favorites of this series. I really like the use of this hairpiece here, which I believe was actually introduced in the last CMF series, so really nice to see that. I also really love the face print there. I think that looks so cool. And like the kind of like sparkly effect that's supposed to be like the stars, like that's really awesome. And I really like the torso printing as well there. That's gonna be really useful for Silver Surfer customs, and you can see you get some hip printing, and you also get leg printing. It's very hard to see, but it is there. You can see the legs have the same effect that the head does, and the arms also have that same like kind of sparkly effect. And you can see it has a club accessory, which if you've seen the constellation, you know what that's about. And you can see you even get the actual Orion constellation on the shield there, which I also think is really cool, and this really nice translucent purple piece. And yeah, I mean, overall, I just love this minifigure. I think it's such a unique design, really useful for like customs in the future too. Like this is just such a cool minifigure, and the fact that it's gonna be useful for customs makes it even better. And the fact that it's like super accurate to the actual Orion constellation is also very cool. So yeah, just again, this is one of my favorites of the CMF series. Next up is the Mtron Power Lifter, and similar to Blacktron and the Ice Planet Explorer minifigure, I have no nostalgia for those themes. I've never owned a single one of those sets, but there's no denying that this is a really cool minifigure. I like the helmet mold a lot there. You can see you get a green heads-up display, kind of similar to the Iron Man ones. And on the back, you get a normal face print if you'd rather have that. You can see you get a very nice print underneath that backpack piece, and you get a really nice like printed tile. And you also get this super cool mold here, like removing this battery piece. You can see it connects to the backpack with this like rubbery end. You get this plastic like end here, and it connects to a hand piece. And again, this is like a really cool rubbery piece. This connects to the backpack, and you clip it on into his hand. And then you also get a stud on the end of this, so you can grab the battery, which is the accessory, and that's a very nice printed piece there. I like that a lot. But you can see you can like clip it into that, so that's why he's like a power lifter. So that's very, very cool. I like the Mtron logo on his torso, and like the printing on the side of the legs also looks great there. It's like this really cool dual modal leg piece, and it kind of reminds me of like Gar Saxon from Star Wars Rebels, so that's gonna be a very useful piece as well. And overall, again, I don't really have a lot of nostalgia for Mtron, but this is one of the best of the series in my opinion. Next up is the spacewalking astronaut, and this is one of the most underrated minifigures of the series in my opinion. I think this is such a cool minifigure. I really like the helmet included here. You can see you get a very nice like gold visor piece, and it's on a dual molded helmet as well, which is really awesome. The face printing also looks great there, and I also really love the torso printing. The side of the arms are really awesome too. I love the space logo there, and on the other side you get some very nice printing. And there's even side leg printing, which is even better. I also really love these printed cheese slope pieces there. I think that looks great. And this obnoxiously large back piece here, I think that is so cool. If this was like a normal set, not a CMF minifigure, I feel like this definitely would have been brick built. So it's so cool to see that mold there. Really nice printed tile there, as well as such an amazing print. I'm literally speechless. Like, that is just such a cool print on the back there. And overall, this is a fantastic minifigure and one of the most underrated of the series. And lastly here, but certainly not least, is the Alien Tourist. I love this minifigure so much. I really like the hat on his head there. You can see it's the film Noir Detective hat from the last CMF series, but it's in turquoise there. And the face is also really awesome. It's a very like classic look for an alien. You can see the shirt says like I Heart Earth, which is really funny. You can kind of see it as like a Hawaiian jacket over that. And the dual molded arms look amazing there. The dual molded legs are also really nice. You can see he has a very nice backpack mold in the camera as an accessory. And yeah, he's definitely my favorite of the CMF series. He's just really chill like that, and I just think this is such a funny and just really cool minifigure. But that's going to do it for my review on the LEGO CMF Series 26. Overall, I think this is a fantastic CMF series. I think the good definitely outweighs the bad. I only think there's like 3 mid figures, and the rest are just super cool. I love all the new molds, and like the base plates are also really cool with like the stars, and like all the minifigures are just really awesome. I think it's much better than Series 25. And I definitely recommend picking up a pack or collecting the whole series, because again, it's just such a cool CMF series. But let me know in the comments down below what you think of the CMF series. Personally, I would give it a 9 out of 10. And also let me know in the comments down below which minifigure is your favorite. And if you want to see my ranking of all these minifigures, you can check out my YouTube short that I posted yesterday. It's up on the channel now, so if you want to watch my ranking, go ahead and check that out. But let me know in the comments down below once again which one is your favorite. And thank you so much for watching this video. I truly do appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed this video and have an incredible day. Bye.